We're here in Tokyo today, and we have alarmingly good weather. It was supposed to rain all day. It was supposed to be, well, 50 millimeters of rain, and it appears to be the exact opposite of that, which is amazing. I'm with Tamron's newest super zoom. It is a 28-300. It is an f4 to f7.1, which means it begins at f4 at 28, and by the time you get all the way to 300, and that's what it looks like at 300, you're at 7.1. It is a great all-day walk-around lens, and in golden hour when there's lots of light, it's no problem at all. Once it starts to get a little darker, this lens might not be your go-to for photography if you want fast shutter speeds and low ISOs. But if you're doing video, I feel like it still kind of works. You're always gonna be at a slightly slower shutter speed, and you can kind of make 7.1 work, even in darkness if there are some good lights around. It's street photography, but all the photos are Ricoh. So what golden hour is, if you're not familiar, it is when the sun begins to do this. It's a nice golden light, and it's usually about an hour before sunset up until sunset. If you do want to have the exact golden hour times, you can get an app like this one here, Alpenglow, that will tell you when golden hour begins. So today it is at 4:02 p.m. Golden hour ends at 4:55 p.m. Then sunset is at 4:39 p.m., which is really early. And blue hour begins at 4:55 p.m. to 5:05 p.m. So you only get 10 minutes of blue hour. And blue hour is when the sky goes that kind of ambient blue that matches usually with the incandescent lights around the city. That's also a very nice time to shoot. So the 28-300 is an incredible all-day walk-around lens, especially with a smaller form factor body like this. In terms of its usefulness, I would rank it a full 10 out of 10. You can get those wider shots at 28 millimeters. Sure, you're not gonna get the 24 millimeter or even wider than that, but I think for the compromise of the size and quality of this lens, I am totally happy for it not to be a little bit wider. We do also have the Tamron 20-40 f2.8, which is what we're filming this on. So maybe good to have both of those lenses if you do want to do something a little bit wider. But the superpower of this lens is that you get a zoom all the way to 300 on a full frame camera body, which is amazing. It unlocks a world of opportunities that you just would not have with a regular 28-70 or 24-70. On the lens here, as you can see, 28, when you zoom to 300, that is the size that it gets to. There's a button on the side here, so you can customize that button if you want. And on the back, there's also a focus ring. I very rarely, if maybe ever, use this focus ring. I will just tap on my screen to override if ever required. Then on the side here, you also have a lock button. So if you want to lock your lens at 28 millimeters for transport, you're able to do that. And you'll also notice that when you turn the lens like this, that it's not creeping. It's not doing that on its own. It stays in its case nicely, but also the friction, I would say, is nearly perfect for my preferences. I would say this is exactly what I would want it to feel like. Overall, the construction design feels really nice, feels really solid. There is also an unusual amount of weather sealing in this lens as well. So it's not officially weather sealed, but I would be pretty comfortable having this out in some light rain. Obviously, do your best to cover your gear, but if the shot does require it to get a little bit wet, I think that you're gonna be just fine. In terms of its compactness, so this is the lens hood. Without the lens hood, it is incredibly compact and small. It fits easily into a bag. I don't even have a camera bag with me. I just have this small side bag. I don't love when traveling. Japan is fine, but I feel like I want to be a little bit more discreet and not show everyone that I have a lot of camera gear with me. So a small bag like that works really well for me. And this camera and this lens fit inside nicely. Golden hour is without a doubt my favorite time for photography. There's something really magical about that warm golden light that transforms everything, whether it's a landscape, a city, or capturing unique expressions and the natural glow in photos of people. If you're also a fan of this time of day, you're in luck because K&F Concept is running their #SeeGoldenHour giveaway now until December 5th, 2024. This gives you a chance to win prizes worth up to $1,500 just by sharing your favorite golden hour photos. Whether you're submitting breathtaking landscapes, portraits bathed in golden light, or creative shots that showcase your unique perspective, there's plenty of room to let your creativity shine. With a wide range of prizes to offer, this contest is an opportunity to share your work and maybe even win some amazing gear in the process. This contest officially closes on December 5th, so be sure to get your entries in by then. Winners will be announced announced and contacted on December 9th, 2024, so keep an eye on your notifications. In addition to this golden hour theme giveaway, K&F Concept is also running their huge Black Friday sale. If there's something you've been eyeing or you've got some gear sitting in your shopping cart, now might be the perfect time to snag it at a discount. I'll add links below for the hashtag #SeeGoldenHour giveaway and Black Friday sale, so you can easily enter the contest or browse the deals to find exactly what you need for your next golden hour shoot. There we go. I think we got enough train content. I'm pleased with the number of trains we've captured today. Let's go somewhere else. You did great, guys. I would say that this lens overall is very, very strong for this style of city photography that we're doing, as well as landscape photography, and anything else that you could just use at 28-300 zoom, that you don't need something like an f1.4 aperture. Now, for the autofocus, it is incredibly fast, and I don't think I can hear it at all. Whatever autofocus motors are using in there, I am very, very happy with them, that it's fast, accurate, and also completely silent. So if you are running a shotgun microphone on top of your camera, it's not going to pick up any sort of lens noise. In terms of the image quality coming off this lens, I am very, very pleasantly surprised, I would say, for a lens that goes all the way from 28-300 on full frame and also on a camera body that is 60 megapixels. I am really actually thrilled with the performance of this lens. In terms of golden hour right now, that there's very minimal flare, ghosting, and then in terms of the way that the images render, they just honestly feel really, really nice. Here's our flare check, where we're going to point this camera directly at the sun and record video, which I don't know if I recommend you do, but we will do it today here for science. I am pointing the camera at the sun. There's also some obstructions in the way. And moving it around the frame. That's what it looks like. And if I stop all the way down to something crazy like f22, there it is, in focus. And that's what the sun looks like at f22. Moving around the frame. Zooming all the way into the sun. Zooming all the way out. So you get a very nice starburst when you're zoomed out at 28, and the starburst seems to disappear a little bit as you get into 300, but I think that's fine. I don't think I'm ever really pointing my camera at the sun like that, except for in this test right now. Now we're going to talk about maybe one of its strongest selling points, the fact that it is $899 US right now, and you're getting a lot in a very small package for that price point. When it comes to stabilization, this lens is really nice. It comes with VC, which is vibration compensation, and when paired with the IBIS of this camera, I've been very happy with it, both in photography and also very surprised at 300 in video mode as well. And I'm able to handle this at 300 on a full frame camera, and I'm very happy with that. Now I'm tracking a flock of pigeons. Doing okay, there's no perspective, so you can't really tell that I'm moving, but that's how far away the pigeons are. And well, now I've lost them. They're back? There they are. Oh, we're back. Bird photography too, I guess. I don't know if this would be considered proper bird photography, but it's birds. That's photography. Very clean light this evening out here in Nakano, or as the signage wants us to believe, New Nakano, Nakano reborn. It's getting crazy here. There's a lot more glass than there was last year. This building's also really cool. It's going up right now. Now we're going to photograph the moon with the Tamron 28-300, and I'm gonna go into crop mode. I'm gonna zoom all the way in. Just doing that daytime moon photography. It's not an astro lens, but I would say I'm pretty darn happy with that overall. And there it is, picture of a moon in crop mode. And now Marshall's gonna show you what the scene looks like at 20 millimeters on the Tamron 20-40 f2.8. There it is, 20, and now 40. You can see it. But if you want that moon photo, you gotta get the Tamron 28-300. There's probably better tools if you actually do want to do astro and moon photography. We got lucky today with the moon in the daytime. 28. Now zooming in all the way to 300. Handheld. I'd say it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to go into crop mode and get even closer. There we are in crop mode, APS-C crop mode, and handheld at 300 millimeters, which is 300 millimeters times 1.5, which is 450 millimeters handheld. I would say overall, I'm very, very happy with the results of that. I'm not so good at gracefully zooming all the way around, but I will say at 300 and having this shot also at 28, it's just nice for your filmmaking, as well as your photography. So many options with the Tamron 28-300 f4 to f7.1. It's evening time here in old Nakano, and still using this lens. So for video, I'm honestly going to be pretty happy with it for the rest of the evening, I think. For photography, as long as I don't need a fast shutter speed for anything, I'm also pretty happy with it. So no complaints so far, and the high ISO capabilities of current mirrorless cameras. I'm going to say it's still, even though you wouldn't expect it to work well after dark, it does as long as you have lights. So as long as you have the lights of the city. If you're out in a field somewhere, you're obviously going to need some probably lighting. But here, I think it's going to work out just fine. And just like that, another golden hour here in Shibuya this morning. Morning golden hour. Light is very nice and crisp, and as you can tell, the birds are out and already pretty loud. We're gonna go for a walk around, take some pictures, take some videos, and test this Tamron 28-300 f4 to f7.1 a little bit more. Tamron 28-300, a great option for an all-day walk-around lens, and we are starting early today. It's about 6 a.m. Been out for about a half an hour already, caught that morning blue hour in the busy area of Shibuya. Usually the crossing is, I'm sure you've seen the B-roll of it, we got some last night, and I feel like that's when that area really comes alive. But I've been drawn to a photographer named Greg Gerard, who shot a lot of slide film early in the morning here, and all of those images rarely, if ever, include people. They're all very calm and serene cityscapes. So I feel like that is what is inspiring me. And I feel like that also inspires me to get out early in the morning, pretty much every day, whether I have a friend or I don't have a friend. Today, I don't have a friend and I'm visiting this beautiful construction area. Might not photograph that, but I bet there's some nice shots somewhere over there. I do not look good today because I had something that I was allergic to yesterday, and I'm not sure what it was, but I'm not gonna do it again today. The sun is rising very nicely over there, so I'm going to stay out until the sun actually hits the streets. So first light when you're in a city or when you're in the mountains is a lot different than sunrise or sunset. So you can get an app like Sunseeker, which is unfortunately a little expensive. I'm sure there's probably another way to do this. I use an app called Sunseeker, and I'm able to figure out exactly where the sun is going to rise, so I can be in a better spot. This is especially important if you're doing a couple shoot, so you can see exactly where that sun is going to be during golden hour. So there are some different variations of golden hour depending on the time of year. So right now it is winter here, and the days are a little bit shorter, which means that when you look at your Sunseeker app, the sun really doesn't get that high in the sky. So even if you're shooting at 12 noon, the sun is never going to be directly overhead. In the middle of the summer, yes, it probably will be, and that will be harsh light that you'll have to deal with. But in the winter, even though it's maybe a little less favorable to be here, that it's not as warm as it could be, actually don't come to Tokyo in the summer, that's an absolute trap. But one of the benefits of traveling a little bit off season is the fact that the light is pretty much good all day long. This is specifically prominent in Iceland or any sort of northern country where in the winter time, the entire day is pretty much golden hour. You might only get 2-3 hours depending on where you're at, maybe even kind of technically 0 hours of sun when you're in a place like Iceland, but you can create some really interesting images. So check that out and figure out what's going to work the best for you in the specific spot that you want to shoot your golden hour. Maximum ISO. I wonder if that looks any good. Looks fine on the monitor. Here we are, ending the video in the most scenic of all the locations, here with the dumpsters, and the Tamron 28-300 f4 to f7.1. Thanks so much to K&F for sponsoring this video. There are links in the description for their giveaway as well as for their Black Friday sale. So get something before Black Friday. We'll see you again next time.